Hi, this is Dave. It's one thing to build a business and live your life based on Christian business principles, and yet it's a totally different thing to add in Christian business practices. There is a difference. So for Christian professionals, entrepreneurs, and business executives, living one's Christianity in the marketplace, as you know, is a constant challenge. And one of the problems is that there isn't a readily available set of guidelines. What does it look like to run a Christian business or profession? To fill that need, I put together this set of very specific business practices, which are common among kingdom businesses. Now, some of these can be tied to specific verses in the Bible, but most are based on Christian principles, such like things like do unto others as you would have them do unto you, for example. That's a principle. Now it expresses itself in a number of different practices. So the difference is principles are big ideas that encompass a lot, generally pretty abstract. Practices are things that you do. So to bridge the gap between principles and practices, you actually do some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you in just a minute. Not surprisingly, many of the Christian business practices may look a lot like good business practices, regardless of their Christian orientation. And this list is dynamic in that new practices are developed regularly, and the same list next year may look a bit different. So if you're wondering, what specifically does it mean to live out one's Christianity in the marketplace? Okay, use this set of Christian business practices as an answer. Okay, now I've got 30-something, quite a few practices, so bear with me here. Number one, foundations. So a practice is having a well-written vision, mission, and values document which mentions the role of God in the business. So somewhere in your foundational documents, you mention God and his ownership of the business. That's a practice. Number two, has published those documents to every pertinent group. So in other words, it's one thing to create the document, and it's another to make sure that all of the people around you in your business get a copy of it and understand it. So that's employees, vendors, customers, prospective employees, other stakeholders. When I had an ongoing business, we had those documents as part of our employee interview package. So anyone who interviewed for a job with us got a copy of that, and they understood clearly that we were a Christian-oriented business. Practice number three, the employees are able to articulate the basics of those documents. In other words, your employees are able to tell you or anyone else what's in your foundational documents. That's a practice. Number four, as a fundamental strategy, you continuously pursue excellence in every aspect of the business. That's a practice. You continuously pursue excellence. Mediocrity is not for kingdom businesses. Excellence is. Number five, proactively seek to expand the influence and impact of the business for the kingdom. That's a big one. Proactively seek to expand the influence and impact of the business for the kingdom. That means you look for opportunities to have influence. So if you belong to groups, trade groups or something like that, you're the guy who volunteers to head the committee or be on the board or something like that. You look for opportunities to take your Christian influence as salt to the world around you. So that's under the heading of foundations. We're going to go on to management and leadership. Practice number 6, leaders in key positions are believers. So, of course, not every employee has to be a believer, but those in key positions, your close-in group, your key people, should be believers. That's a practice. Number 7, entire management team regularly recognizes and praises employees. That is a practice. Number 8, regularly invests in the training and development of employees as a business practice. That is a Christian business practice. That's what Christian businesses do. Number 9, plans carefully. Number 10, regularly brings the Holy Spirit into the planning process. So what that means is that you don't do any planning without first asking the Holy Spirit to be a part of it. Now that's prayer, and it's also listening. Number 11, attempts to take care of employees' needs above and beyond financial compensation. So you're there to help your employees if they need things, or counseling, or just a shoulder to cry on. You're there above and beyond financial compensation for your employees. Number 12, attempts to personally know each employee. You know, one of the people in my CBIG group had a practice. He had maybe 50 or 60 employees at the time, and he kept note cards, 3x5 cards on every employee, and he'd write notes about them and pray for them. On every Friday, he would go through those cards and pray for each employee. But the issue became really, how does he know each one? And there's a lot of them, so he created a system where he would, whenever he talked with one of them, he'd capture some of those thoughts on the 3x5 card, and then he could pray very intelligently for that person. Number 13, has a defined hiring process and hires slowly and carefully. Defined hiring process, hires slowly and carefully. That's a practice. Number 14, regularly prays for and with employees. And so you ask your employee, do you mind if I pray for you? Or do you mind if I pray with you? And you do that on a regular basis. You not only do it for employees, but you also do it for customers and for business success and impact. You pray regularly for your customers. You pray regularly for business, for the success and impact of your business. Number 15, terminates people professionally and with dignity. Number 16, pays people at or above market rates. Now let's move on to the area of sales and marketing. Number 17, seeks to continually grow the business. Number 18, focuses on well-defined target markets. Number 19, accurately describes the products and services in marketing collateral. The key word there is accurately. Number 20, proposals that you make are clear and accurate. Number 21, you do not overpromise. Number 22, you keep promises. Number 3, you train the sales and marketing staff in the company's values and hold them accountable for adhering to those values. Number 24, does not accept business which violates the company's values. So if you got to compromise your values in order to get a piece of business, you say no. Number 25, honestly reports delivery and quality status. So if you're having quality problems, you're honest about it. If you're having delivery problems, you're honest about it. Number 26, always seeks to quickly resolve any differences. Number 27, does not criticize the competition. Number 28, your pricing is fair and reflects the value of the product or service to the customer. And number 29, seeks to develop long-term relationships with good customers. Boy, some of these things we can go on, we can really drill deeply in. I have a whole body of content on this one that we just mentioned, seeks to develop long-term relationships with good customers. Why that's such a valuable practice and how to go about it. Okay, let's move on to the area of finance. Number 30, has a moderate amount of debt, if any. Number 31, strives to pay all bills within terms. Number 32, gives a portion of time and money. The business gives a portion of time and money. Number 33, adheres to honest financial and tax reporting. Number 34, regularly invests profits into the growth of the business. Number 35, treats vendors fairly and with respect. And now two more. Number 36, seeks positions of visibility in the industry above and beyond the company itself. So that means you're active in trade associations and chambers of commerce, in any kind of industry group, virtual groups, whatever. You join those and you seek to salt them with your presence. And number 37 has an organized company-based ministry program designed to benefit the community. In other words, you go above and beyond just making money, and you organize some of the resources that you have in the business to do something, bring some service to people in the community. Okay? That's 37. 37 very specific business practices. You may have a couple that you want to suggest, so feel free to jump on the comments section and list your Christian business practices. Okay? By the way, if you want to really get into this, we have a document we call the Biblical Business Assessment. And it's an assessment for you. It's, self-assessment. It's assessment for you to assess, evaluate the state of your business relative to Christian business principles and practices. Okay? So it's a great thing to do. I recommend it. It's a free download. I'll put a link in the show notes, and please download it. Okay? That's it. We're done. Bye-bye.